Hello everyone, and welcome to the Pedaling Princess Podium. I'm John Ardelli, and with me is my friend Lonnie Jones. He's going to be our guest host for the episode today. He is the organizer of the Cape Breton Ride of Silence.
Thank you, John. The 2011 Ride of Silence is the second Ride of Silence in Cape Breton. We started last year in 2010. This year we have incredible weather on our side, and we hope to see you join us. So come along for the Ride of Silence. All right, folks. The police are going to lead us. Jacques is going to be right behind them. Fall in. The Ride of Silence is held on the third Wednesday of May every year in hundreds of locations around the world. It began in 2003 when endurance cyclist Larry Schwartz was killed by the mirror of a school bus while cycling. At Larry's funeral, his friend Chris Phelan came upon the idea of holding a ride in Larry's honor. In less than 2 weeks, Chris had sent out numerous emails and, aided by word of mouth, managed to gather 1,000 riders together for the first ever Ride of Silence. Originally a one-time only affair, the ride has grown exponentially from year to year. The ride has been described as a funeral procession on bicycles. Riders travel silently with no talking and slowly at a maximum speed of 20 kilometers per hour or 12 miles per hour. The purpose of the ride is threefold: to honor those who have been injured or killed in collisions with motor vehicles while cycling, to raise awareness of cyclists and cycling-related issues, to ask motorists to share the road with us.
Hello again. It's good to see everybody made it safely. We do have, on occasion, people who have been injured by motor vehicles while they're riding. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Barathel.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I've had 3 little incidents on bikes. I was on a 2-lane road, and when the right-hand lane was closed down, there were sawhorses up, and there was a bus coming in the only remaining lane. So I shoulder checked and realized that there wasn't enough room for him and me. When I veered to go into the open lane, the right-hand lane, there was gravel, and I wiped out. Bus missed me. I went over the embankment, over the guardrail, and down the embankment. It was on a ramp, and I woke up in hospital. Second incident was I was turning right on a small road, and a Volkswagen Beetle with the curved bumpers pulled, like he hooked my front tire and pulled the bike out from underneath me. So I rolled into the oncoming traffic and just was, scrambled up, and just a few scrapes and straightened out the wheels, and I was good to go. The last incident actually occurred here, and it was when I first moved here. This would be about 30 years ago. If any of you are familiar with reserve mines, how the Wilson's Road came in the old way, there was kind of like a straight cutoff, and they've changed that since, which I think is much more safe. I was going straight to go towards McKay's Corners, and a car was going down Wilson's Road and just about wiped me out. Didn't hit me, but came very close. But one of the things that's really great is that there's been a lot of awareness about cycling. People are more conscious of bikes being on the road. Of course, in the spring, when the kids get on their bikes, there's a great deal of awareness, both in the public, but also from cyclists and motorists as well. And I think this is great, because it's a great way to get around. It's a great mind and body release, and it's an awesome way to travel and see the countryside. It's nice that we have the people with the knowledge of biking that are involved with the group here. There are great programs like Can Bike, which gives a lot of education and a lot of knowledge to people.
Well, Cape Breton is a very safe place to ride, and most of the time when you encounter motor vehicles, the drivers are actually waving as they pass you, and I think that's pretty nice. It's a good gesture. But there are occasional casualties. Occasionally things happen. And certainly outside of our island, in the wider world, there are many things that can and often do go wrong. I just was informed a few moments ago of a death in Montreal over the weekend where somebody got the door prize. And that's a terrible loss to not just to the cycling community, but to the greater community, the world in general. The Otesha group last September in New Brunswick, tractor trailer hit a group of cyclists. Only one was killed, but two were injured. They were quite shaken up. The rest of the group vowed to go on and do the rest of their tour, but it was quite a loss for them. There were 6 cyclists struck in Rougemont, Quebec, just days before our Ride of Silence last year, and 3 of those died. But I also think of the advocacy work done locally by Velo Cape Breton, the CBRM Active Transportation Plan, and others. The valuable training available through the CAN bike programs that Bart mentioned. From my own experience, I went from being a very large but timid rider who was quite vocal in his displeasure when motorists passed too closely, to being quite confident after CAN Bike 1. And after CAN Bike 2, I had better defensive and active accident avoidance skills, and apparently I had developed some detective skills as well. In a few weeks, I plan to take the CAN Bike Instructors Program, which will then enable me to pass on what I have learned to other riders. So this evening, as you ride, I ask that you ride in silence in honor of those who no longer ride among us.
Our local Ride of Silence in Cape Breton was started in 2010 when over 60 riders took part. Last year we rode in memory of 6-year-old Joshua Penny. Sadly, this year we must also add the name of 12-year-old Dylan LeBlanc. As well, we ride in honor of all others who have been killed in other locations. It is our hope that no other names will be added to this list.
Tonight we number many, but ride as one, in honor of those not with us, friends, mothers, fathers, sisters, sons. With helmets on tight and heads down low, we ride in silence, cautious and slow. The wheels start spinning in the lead pack, but tonight we ride and no one attacks. The dark sunglasses cover our tears, remembering those we held so dear. Tonight's ride is to make others aware. The road is there for all to share. To those not with us or by our side, may God be your partner on your final ride.
Well, thank you very much for joining us on the 2011 Cape Breton Ride of Silence. I'm Lonnie Jones, your co-host, and thank you for watching the Pedaling Princess Podium. We'll see you all next week.